Occasionally, thieves will break a window, but usually it's because they spotted something valuable inside the vehicle. The best way to prevent becoming a victim is to remove or at least hide your valuables and lock your vehicle. And for gun safety, if you own it, respect it, secure it. It's brought to you by the firearms industry and ProjectChildSafe.org. If you own a gun, know how to use it and how to secure it. Practice with it and make sure your children know that they should never touch one without a responsible adult present. A disturbing problem that seems to be happening often is thefts of loaded firearms which were left in unlocked vehicles. As a gun owner, you are required to keep loaded guns locked away from your children. And a new program to be informed about your neighborhood is the Connect with us on Nextdoor. The Polk County Sheriff's Office is available on several social media sites with the goal to help keep you informed on crimes, scams, events, and more. One of the sites you can now find is Nextdoor, one word. The site is arranged by neighborhoods, allowing people in your neighborhood to alert other residents about important information. Plus, the Polk County Sheriff's Office is available to send neighborhood-specific information about important details regarding things such as crime trends, missing children, or suspicious activities. And on the Christian front, Paige Patterson loses his job as president of the Southern Baptist Convention Seminary. This from Fort Worth, Texas. The Baptist Press reports that Dr. Paige Patterson is no longer president of the Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary. The announcement came early morning after a 13-hour meeting of the trustees of the seminary. Patterson has been under fire in recent weeks by various critics who say that over the years he has mishandled cases dealing with women who say they were facing abuse. According to the Baptist Press, Page has been appointed President Emeritus of the Fort Worth-based seminary, effective immediately. The trustees have named Jeffrey Brigham, the seminary's Dean of Theology, as interim president, pending his acceptance. And on Veterans News, the 9th Annual Honoring Women Veterans Conference is June 16th. Evansville, Indiana wants people to join us for a free, fun, and informative day designed for women who have served or currently serve in the United States military. Head injury and PTSD in veteran and civilian women who have experienced IPV. Although there has been attention to traumatic brain injury, TBI, as a result of military service and sports injuries, there is much less known about head injuries caused by intimate partner violence. Dr. Everson will present data on the occurrence of IPV-related TBI based on self-report data collected from 2 samples of women veterans. Other staff will describe associations between head injury and PTSD treatment outcomes across several clinical trials. The presenters will conclude by discussing the National PTSD Brain Bank, including opportunities for recruitments. The State of Florida 5th Annual Women's Veterans Conference will be on June 11th, Lake Worth, Florida. It's open to all women who have served or are currently serving in the military. There will also be a Native American Women Veterans Retreat on June 8th through the 10th in Groton, Massachusetts. Project New Hope Incorporated announced its first retreat exclusively for Native American women, focusing on MST and PTSD. Native American women veterans face numerous cultural and economic barriers. By providing support, education, and resources, PNH hopes to improve the quality of life for Native American women. Register now. The Veterans Health Administration's Office of Connected Care and the American Legion will host a live Twitter chat at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on June 7th to talk about VA's connected healthcare technologies. Come learn about the many connected healthcare tools VA offers to help improve the lives of veterans, caregivers, and their families. These include My Health Vet, the VA telehealth and video appointments using VA Video Connect, and more than 24 mobile apps for veterans on the VA App Store. Recruitment frequently poses a challenge to human subjects research. In this presentation, Dr. Dichter will share lessons learned regarding recruitment and enrollment of women VHA patients into a study about intimate partner violence. The presentation will include details on strengths and limitations of various recruitment strategies. Study recruitment results and lessons learned that can be applied to other human subjects research with women VHA patients around sensitive topics. Doctors Hamilton and Crystal will focus on preliminary findings from interviews with women veterans, primary care providers, administrators about strategies for increasing the engagement of women veterans in women's health research. The California Whitewater Guide School is June 2nd through the 8th at Lotus, California. Military Outdoors provides scholarships for veterans and members of the Guard and Reserve who are interested in pursuing seasonal employment as a raft guide. The course is taught by professional river rafting guides. More than 77,500 formerly homeless veterans are living in their own permanent housing today because of a valuable program known as HUD-VASH, which stands for the Housing and Urban Development Veterans Affairs Support Housing. VA collaborates with the Department of Housing and Urban Development to provide eligible veterans with vouchers to assist with rent payments to participating landlords. The program is administered by local public housing authorities. Chronically homeless veterans are prioritized for admission into the HUD-VASH program. Following the prioritization of non-chronic homeless veterans is based on vulnerability and need for the services provided through the program. VA provides clinical case management and services to help veterans obtain and sustain permanent housing while also assisting veterans in assessing treatment and other supportive services that promote increased quality of life and full reintegration back into one's community. Because veterans experience homelessness for a variety of reasons, case management is individually tailored to meet the needs of each HUD-VAST veteran. The program assists veterans in the case management due to mental health, substance abuse, or other issues stemming from disability, economic hardship, or other barriers to permanent independent housing. And effective this past May 13th, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs will update portions of the VA schedule for rating disabilities that evaluates the organs of special sense eye conditions as well as gynecological conditions and disorders of the breast. The VA healthcare system performs similar to or better than non-VA systems on most measures of inpatient and outpatient care quality. Although there is a high variation in quality across individual VA facilities, according to a new RAND Corporation study. Examining a wide array of commonly used measures of health care quality, researchers found that VA hospitals generally provided better quality care than non-VA hospitals, and the VA outpatient services were better quality than compared to commercial HMOs, Medicaid HMOs, and Medicare HMOs. U.S. officials say reports of sexual assaults across the military jumped by nearly 10% in 2017, a year that saw a massive online nude photo sharing scandal rock the services, triggering greater awareness of sexual harassment and other similar complaints. The overall increase was fueled by a nearly 15% surge in sexual assault reports in the Marine Corps, according to officials familiar with the data. And the Air Force has taken into consideration new tactics to keep women officers in the service as it deals with retention issues and a growing pilot shortage. Women only make up 20.6% of the Air Force officer corps, and that percentage lowers at higher pay grades, according to a new study from the RAND Corporation. Air Force Colonel Peter J. Stewart was deployed in August 1965. On March 15, 1966, his F-4C Phantom jet was shot down over North Vietnam. His remains were identified last month. The colonel was 48 years old when he died, which is much older than most who go missing in action. His widow, Monty Stewart, is 95 years old. The late Peter Stewart's remains will be flown into Tampa on June 16th. His memorial service with rosary recitation will be held June 17th at the Oak Ridge Funeral Home, and his mass with military honors will take place one day later at St. Matthew's Catholic Church. The Patriot Guard Riders, a motorcycle non-profit, will take part in the festivities. According to the Defense POW/MIA Accounting Agency, nearly 57,000 veterans missing in action remain unaccounted for, including about 1,600 from the Vietnam War. Stewart was one of more than 90 fallen servicemen and servicewomen identified this fiscal year. According to Dan Penzine, president of Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 1040, Stewart is the first missing Vietnam veteran from Polk County identified in more than 20 years. The last was Captain John Nolly Flanagan, a Marine who died on August